All right, Teeter, you're at number 2.
Man,
Oh, wow, this is going to be good.
This is gonna
This
get
is where it gets
down.
to the nitty-gritty.
This is where we make
you
the
probably
big bucks.
you probably heard of my number 1, but you probably haven't heard him do it. But my
That's number 1?
That's number 2.
Oh,
I'm trying to think. You probably haven't heard of this person, but one of my favorite songs ever is an Elton John song. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. I think it's autobiographical. I just love that song.
Of all time.
Sarah Bareilles
Love it.
has a live album from Atlanta. And her version of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, she does it by herself on the piano. It's the encore of that show. Is perfect.
He sent it to me. It's not Elton.
did you cry?
I did not. Elton's version
Did you
gets me
feel
every time.
like crying?
Yeah.
No. Elton's
It's
version
perfect.
has been my top 10 forever, and it will never leave.
Yeah.
Tiny Dancer's way better. That's my
Hey,
favorite
we have
John
opinions.
Elton
That's
song.
cool. I'm good with it.
That song's good, but it just doesn't. But I haven't heard your version you're talking about. So, all right. So is it better or worse?
I mean, that's not better than Elton John.
Okay. All right.
But it's great.
My number 2 is "Hurt" by Johnny Cash, and here's what I love about it. Right, I love how it just encapsulates. It's just like the most perfect ending to rock, country, whatever you want to call it. He puts out this album that's got like all these amazing covers, from Rusty Cage to "In My Life" by the Beatles. Like he's got. If you've never heard of the album, it's so awesome. The version that he does of everything. And "Hurt" is just so melancholy and beautiful.
It is.
And
It's a good word to use for it, too.
thanks. So, beautiful.
Melancholy.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that they record it, they do the video and everything in like February, and I can watch that video. I've literally watched that video like 8 hours in a row, like just sitting there doing other stuff, and it just plays on repeat. It's just so haunting and all. I love the fact that he goes back to see his home and just everything's riding that train and all that stuff. And he cuts in with his little vocal and what. But what I love about it is they film it in like February. June Carter Cash is in it. She dies in like May. He's just frailty 101. You can just tell he's trembling, and he's just at the end of his line and everything.
Cocaine's
and
a
then
hell of a drug.
he dies like later that year, and that's like his, the opus that kind of ends it all.
Yeah.
And it's just a beautiful song. When he closes that piano at the end of the video, it's just like, that's how else could you go out more perfectly than that? So
It's like,
I can't say enough good things. And yes, I think it's better than Nine Inch Nails because it's a completely different song. And what Cash did to it, he just made it just brilliant. Otherwise, it was just a good Nine Inch Nails song. But it's absolutely flawless to me.
Number 2. The original sounds like something that you would hear at a flea market with a guy holding a guitar with a bucket in front of him.
A busker? Isn't that what they're called?
Yeah, the
Buskin?
Yeah.
Buskin?
He's standing there with a microphone and a little guitar and got his bucket in front of him, waiting for somebody to throw some dollars down. The
They
guy,
usually use their guitar case, not a bucket.
well, either way,
Who?
the guy
Flea
who
market.
redid it, the
Buckhorn.
remake version. Buckhorn's fantastic. The remake sounds like something you would hear at Woodstock, and that's exactly what it was. And that is all along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix.
There you go.
Bob Dylan's version is boring.
Yeah, it
It
is.
sucks. Bob Dylan sucks. Put it on video.
We hate Dylan in this
He
group.
sucks.
Well, yeah, it is.
The guy can write some of the best songs in the world. He couldn't sing a damn lick. It's painful to listen to Like a Rolling Stone. And if you read the lyrics, it's a great song.
Yeah.
He sucks.
You know what's crazy about Dylan is all the people who've done covers of him, it's, why do you think Hendrix listened to that boring version and went, I could do this?
It's my spin. What can I
like,
do
isn't
with
that
this?
weird that he decided that was a song that he could
Well,
manufacture into
he-
something brilliant?
He did that a lot, though.
He did.
I know, but I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, of that one song, like,
He played.
because I don't listen to Dylan stuff and go, oh, this would be a good cover of
Paul
something.
McCartney did this interview one night, and he said that they went and saw him play, I think at the Royal Albert Hall, and they had released Sgt. Pepper's the week before, and this son of a bitch broke out Sgt. Pepper's live, and they just looked at each other and they were like, "What just happened?"
What is going on
Yeah.
right now? Oh, God.
That's good.
Yeah,
All right, drum roll, Teeter.
I like it. Number 1. Oh,
Teeter knows what number 1 is.
I mean, I do. I can call it right now.
Number 1,
I hear it a lot.
the
And
original.
It's good.
The original is it's kind of like Diet just said. I compare this to Hurt. The original is poetry with music behind it. It's whispery. It's
like a haiku.
It's somber. It's just there. and it's like I said, it's a great poem with a little bit of music behind it. The lyrics are fantastic, but when I heard David Dreimer do it, it blew my mind. It shocked me. I got goosebumps. I had to stop for a minute and say, I want to start this over. There's a different story being told with the same lyrics,
Nice.
with the music behind it, the growl in the voice. And if you've never heard Disturbed, you go back to their original stuff, Down with the Sickness and Stupefy and,
Their second album was really good.
Liberate, things like that. I mean, it's like, wow, okay, Inside the Fire. There's so many songs you listen to and you're like, wow, that's different. And I never thought that I would hear him sing a song that's that kind of tempo and tell me a different story than Simon and Garfunkel, who were great musicians. Tell me a different story than what they did. And I heard, and it's where he hit certain notes when you're talking about, cancer and just different aspects of that song. That is my number one, and it's not an old song at all, but that is my number one, and I'll be honest with you, it's going to be hard for somebody to beat that one.
I like Land of Confusion better.
That's fantastic.
I love that version.
Yeah.
Which I like
We
that
talked
song.
about this
I like
week.
that song too. But
I like that one better.
It's-
I think part of it was the video was so cool. With
The
those
original.
rubber-
with all the
rubber
politicians,
face
the
and all
rubber
that.
faces,
That was so cool.
which, if you think about it, that's where Point Break got their stuff from.
Yeah,
Exact
and that
same
was
thing.
that to me was one of the best videos. I mean, screw Peter Gabriel, not as a musician, but as a videographer or whatever you call it. I'm not into all
We
that.
could
crap.
go down so
Like,
many rabbit
yeah,
holes
but that's
like that.
just a bunch of stop motion
Peter
orchestra.
Gabriel.
He's got like fruit and a train track going through his face and crap. And
Sledgehammer.
He makes the
yeah,
video.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
the greatest videos. And don't get me wrong, So is a
He was in
great
Genesis
album.
too.
Yes, he was.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
So you've got Gabriel
But I'm
and
saying, when
Collins,
they
and
talk
Gabriel's like,
about-
oh, I'm leaving. And
But I'm saying,
Collins
just-
like, cool, hold my drumsticks.
Yeah.
With regards to like creativity, everybody thinks that he's the epitome of that, and I think Land of Confusion was a absolutely brilliant video.
It was.
And all. I don't know what those dudes were. You think that was like
They were politicians.
I know that it was like Reagan and all, but like was that foam or what do you think that was? Or plastic? It looked like foam.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It was like you remember when Primus did Winona, or was it?
Yeah.
Was it Winona?
Rose
Where
Red
they're
Wine Beaver, yeah.
where they're in the cowboy suits and they look like they're just like made out of
Yeah.
like rubber or something.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
I think it's
Alright.
very Asian influenced.
Which part?
That whole look. It's like
Anime.
or anime.
Anime? I've never heard that. Is that how it's said?
It's anime, but my son's into all that crap, dude. I'm like, oh,
I don't even know
God,
what it is.
what are they
It's
doing right
Japanese
now?
on it. My number one is on no one's list, but I love it. I've loved it since the VHS Under.
You don't know this not on my list yet.
Oh, it ain't on your list. Under Siege came out as a VHS, and I have wore that copy out. I've watched it so many
Steven
times.
Seagal?
No. And I've heard the original, and it's too slow. This band took it and just launched it in the stratosphere. I learned 3 vocabulary words out of the lyrics. Because Lemmy, these are probably the best lyrics of anything.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I learned sycophant, obsequies, and I didn't know what clandestine meant at the time.
Jim Belushi taking care of business.
Yeah. Orgasmatron by Sepultura. I am the one, Orgasmatron. My outstretched reach. I love that tune, and it's when they go into it, and it's like the easiest riff in the world. Andres like does this awesome solo over the top of it that doesn't exist in the original, and it's just so heavy. And it was when Sepultura was at their peak, and they did it as like they covered it all the way through. I don't know if they still do it with that.
I don't hate
lead
that pick.
guy, Derek, but they do just an awesome version of it, and it's just one of their live staples back when they were in their original foursome.
He
So
doesn't
that's
hate- he doesn't
that's
hate
my
the
number one.
I don't.
Did
Okay.
you have it? Okay.
I didn't. My number one, I can remember when she died, I was really upset because she's hands
I
down
swear if this is Whitney Houston,
my
I'm a walk-
favorite singer of all time.
Oh my God.
It's coming. It was on mine. I took it off.
She's the greatest singer, female. She's the greatest vocalist I've ever heard in my entire life, and it's
It better be Christine McVie.
it's Amy
Okay.
Winehouse's
Valerie.
version of Valerie.
I
Yeah.
told you.
I mean,
yes.
It's it doesn't get any better than that. I have a huge crush on Amy Winehouse. I've loved her from the first time I saw her.
She looks like she needed to eat a sandwich.
Well, I mean,
She's a little
that in the beginning,
She's like a dog that's been left out.
I mean, she got on some substance to abuse
alcohol.
her.
That's where rehab came from, man.
It was a lot of things.
She was,
let's
she
be
was a
honest.
concoction.
It was a concoction of many things.
Let's be honest. But so she does a
You've got weird taste in female singers.
Well, I mean, it is what it
I'm
is.
just
You asked
saying.
me to put a list together.
I
This is
did.
all-
I did.
It's a great version. Have you heard Bruno Mars do that? Did
I
you see
have.
him do
What?
it? It was
What is going on
It's
right
good.
now?
But
You want to bring Usher in and
the Zootons wrote that
Pitbull?
song.
Zootons, yeah.
The Zootons, and they're like a 90s grunge band.
Yeah.
And wrote Valerie, but Valerie by Amy Winehouse to me is the
You know the
greatest cover
only
ever written.
Valerie song that I'm knowing about?
Steve Winwood.
Steve Winwood. That's
That's a good one.
let's calm it down, John.
I'm just-
Yeah, I like it. That's
No,
a
that
good
is
one.
it. Steve Winwood, brilliant guy. Blind Faith, all the way through to his. I love his
Spencer Davis
80s
Group.
stuff.
You sure are
His-
taking away from Amy Winehouse.
I would take Steve Winwood over Amy Winehouse.
You're crazy.
Roll this table out and let's arm
Give me
wrestle.
some 11. Here we go.
You know, there's a lot of injuries with arm wrestling.
I mean,
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the
I hurt
stuff
my
on
foot
YouTube?
on a
People
Peloton.
blow their.
Your whole.
So that is like
what are
the
we doing right now?
any orthopedic surgeon will tell you the worst thing you can do is
Arm wrestling.
be a professional arm wrestler.
I'm not going to
Because
professionally arm wrestle.
Well, we're going to be amateurs. We're not professionals at
I'm
anything.
not doing anything. But that's
Well,
my
we
number
are.
one.
We're
Hey,
professional.
do we have
idiots.
time to do like one honorable mention?
I'd imagine, but I don't know
Okay.
what mine is. But yeah, go ahead.
Go deep. Go.
God, I don't even know.
It was Valerie.
Yeah.
Amy Winehouse. Done by the
What was the one that I said I didn't even think about? Oh, I'm going to pick Sturgill's The Promise. I really am. That would probably be my 12th. That is a damn good version of a really cool 80s new wave-ish song.
Mine would be Joe Cocker doing "With a Little Help from My Hands."
That's
Yeah.
good. Good.
Yeah, it was hard to keep that off my list. And I'll tell you, I got one more too. I got to throw it out there. Ryan
There
Adams.
are no rules to
Okay,
this.
Ryan Adams does a disgusting version of "Wasted Years" by Iron Maiden.
Really?
It's sick how good it is. I can't believe it didn't make my list. In fact, Janice is off my list,
Oh, so he's
and,
changing
and we're
it
gonna
up.
put
We're
gonna put Ryan Adams on
I
there.
like it.
out.
I
We're
like
gonna
it.
put Ryan Adams doing "Wasted Years."
So
on there.
so here's what we learned, right? Okay. Did we learn? Like, I got to look up some David Cook song and Valerie apparently, because I think I've heard that, but I don't know if I have.
Will sometime.
I will play the small version of David Cook's Eleanor Rigby before the next video.
Okay.
I will.
All right. So we got some songs to listen to, but I think this was mildly profitable. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I didn't make
were
a
you-
dime.
Well,
But
no,
it's
not
okay.
profitable in the sense of
Okay.
just
Educational.
an existential, ethereal hope
I like
for
it.
mankind,
I
right?
liked it.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
And the
just
thing is, all of us were all over the globe. We had a couple that mirrored
We had
each
some
other,
mirrors.
but-
imagine this, right? If all those people were
I
alive,
can't.
right?
Okay.
Amy Winehouse, all those people, everybody's alive, and we did like a Lollapalooza for all those bands, and we threw them all together on
We would buy
headlines.
tickets.
That would be like the greatest show ever, right? I mean,
Yes.
Joe
Yeah.
Cocker opening up for Sepultura. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it would be so cool, right?
Yeah.
What about Five Finger Death Punch? They did a bunch of
All
good.
right, and I think that's all we got to talk about, folks. Tina, why don't you take us out on some Bob Dylan? Good.
They did
Here
God.
comes the story
They're playing
of a hurricane.